Bodies, 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 an A24 film. That's the intro. Let's do the review.
You should watch your girl.
You pushed her! Liar! You just want to be me. What is happening?
Is that all you got, mother?
And so guys, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Like I said before, it's an A24 film. You guys know I have a love-hate relationship with A24. I think they've put out some absolute disasters, and I think they've put out some absolute masterpieces. The most recent one they put out that I loved was X. And then the one they put out that I didn't even see because it just looked god-awful was Men. So that's what A24 does. They give me something great, and then they give me something shit. So here we are at Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. How do I feel about it? Well, I'll just tell you guys right now. I love it, and I hate it at the same time. There is some redeemable things about this movie, especially a very awesome twist toward the end. It's not a spoiler. Come on, guys. It's a movie. There's going to be a twist. There's got to be a hook, right? There's going to be something. So there's a little bit of a twist at the end of this movie that really makes it enjoyable. But there are several scenes within this movie that I absolutely hated. So we'll get into it. Let's talk about this movie for a minute. So the movie opens with two girls that are on their way to a house party in the middle of a hurricane warning. I think it's a hurricane storm. I think. Okay, so they're on their way to this hurricane storm party where they're just going to get drunk and get high and have a good time. And so the two girls are on their way there. One of the girls knows everyone at the house, has history with everyone at the house, and the other girl is the girlfriend of the girl that knows everyone. Hopefully you're still with me. And they go to this house party, and when they get there, things are tense. And they don't really let you, the viewer, know. You kind of have to figure it out as the movie unravels itself. But things are tense with everyone that's currently at this hurricane party and the girl that knows them all. But whatever, they're at this party and you've got this ensemble cast of friends that know each other. You got an older guy who's there who's kind of like their drug dealer, it seems like. And so you've got this cast of people who either know each other really well and know each other's deep dark secrets, or they know nothing about them. And since this is a murder mystery movie at its core, that helps because you've got the people that know each other already don't really trust each other, but then you've got these outside two people, the girlfriend that I mentioned before and this 30-something-year-old man who definitely is sketchy. So automatically those two are going to be suspects, but because everyone in the house knows each other's history and they're all kind of backstabbers, they all kind of suspect each other too. I don't want to say what happens because the preview did a really good job of not telling you who dies to kick off this murder mystery, and then it doesn't tell you who dies after that. So I'm not going to get into any spoiler territory. I'm not going to tell you who dies that kicks off the murder mystery in this house, but it is done in a way that I think is brand new to the genre. And correct me if I'm wrong, I guess, in the comment section if there's a movie that does this and you've seen it and you know what they do. But I thought it was brand new to the genre. They pushed the limits of the murder mystery genre, and it was interesting. I liked that about this movie. But since we're talking about things I liked, and I can't give you any more synopsis, let's get into the things I liked and the things I disliked. The first like, well, I already talked about it, but I love that interesting twist they put to the murder mystery drama, the whodunit drama, and then the internal look at what you would do if you were put in this situation. I liked that because the entire movie, as they're going through trying to figure out who this murderer is, and they start doing some things that are not the nicest things to each other, because they all suspect each other, it really makes you think like, hey, would I act this exact same way? Would I be suspect of my best friends? Would I think that the people that I loved could have done this? And then what would I do to protect those people I love? Or what would I do to show that those people I love were actually the murderer? Like, so it's really interesting in that regard. I also really like Pete Davidson in this movie. I do. I just think the guy is funny. He says a line in the movie that says, hey, do I look like I fuck? And the girl's like, what do you mean? He's like, that's like the look I'm going for, is that I fuck. I don't know. Since I saw the movie like 3 days ago, I've been saying that to my wife all the time. I just, randomly be like, hey, do I look like I fuck? Like, I don't know. It's a great line, so I enjoy the line, and now it's stuck in my brain. As for dislikes in this movie, I think this movie, it's trying to push the limits of the genre, and I'm okay with that. But at times, this movie slows down because they tell the audience a piece of the mystery, and you're like, oh, that was there? Okay, well, if that was there, then this person is definitely dirty. maybe not the murderer, but at least dirty. Let's go find out. But then the movie acts like you still don't know, and so they continue on with the characters second guessing each other. That didn't work for me personally. Like, once they started revealing certain things about certain characters, I was like, okay, well, at least now we can narrow it down. The movie was like, okay, we've shown you that, but it's not narrowed down yet. And I kind of get why when you get to that twist ending, but it still felt like it dragged a little because of that. Because now, after revealing stuff to us, the characters then had to reveal it to each other, and they went about that in a very roundabout way, and it just slowed the movie down for me personally. The other dislike I have is there is one scene in this movie that I promise you on repeat viewings I will skip, and it's the scene with, I think, 3 girls, and they're all upset with each other, and they're all talking to each other, and they all give these monologues, but they say the most 2022 stuff, like stuff that is, I guess, maybe what, this dates me, but I'm going to say what the kids are saying these days, but they're talking about, you triggered me and you were sus when you did this, and like, those are just 2 things I just said, but they say about 25 of them, each a piece, and it gets so bogged down with we need to be hip in order for this movie and this scene itself to work, that it just didn't work for me. I remember that was the only time in the movie I was like, all right, coming up on the 2-hour mark, let's get this movie done. Like, it just dragged in that scene and in that moment, and none of that worked for me. But otherwise, I enjoyed this movie, and I'd say if you've got an afternoon, go check out Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Or, since it's A24, it'll probably be on streaming in the next 40 days, so you could just wait for it. But it's a fun murder mystery whodunit movie. That's how I feel. It's not as good as Knives Out. To me, that's the most recent whodunit murder mystery that was great, but it's enjoyable, and that's how I feel about it. It's just an enjoyable movie. So, guys, those are my thoughts on Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I'm sorry I didn't get to do this as an out-of-the-theater review. I had some friends who were meeting afterwards, and I just kind of had to go, so I didn't have the time to sit there in the parking lot and talk about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies in the parking lot like I like to do. But if you enjoyed this review, go ahead and hit the like button for me. If you want to share this review with your friends, make sure that by hitting the share button. If you have seen Bodies, 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 and you would like to put your thoughts and your comments in the comment section down below, well, go ahead and do that, because I love hearing from you guys, love hearing your thoughts. And yeah, have you seen X? I'm just going to throw that out there too. Have you seen X yet? Because the prequel to X that came out earlier this year comes out in like 3 weeks. So you need to go see X. You need to just watch it, enjoy it at home, and then go see Pearl, the prequel. I'm going to throw that out there anytime I'm talking about A24 right now, because it still blows my mind that we get the movie and the prequel to the movie in the same year. Really appreciate that, A24. With all that out of the way, guys, I got to say to you guys, thanks for watching this video. It means a lot if you stuck around all the way through this review, and it means a lot if you hit the subscribe button for me, because I've got a lot of content on my channel, and if you like this, there's a lot more on my channel like this. Plus, I have a lot of controversial opinions, and I like when people see that and then they get upset. It makes me happy inside. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Beast comes out next weekend, and The Invitation comes out the week after that. I'm not really excited for either one of those. Don't really want to see Beast. It's like, it looked like a cool horror movie to start, and then it looks like it's just going to be like a jungle with a lion. I'm not really into lion movies.